Hello Year 5 and welcome to Thursday's maths session, week 6 and the final day of the week and the final day of the half term. You've made it. So let's have a look at what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to begin today by completing the arithmetic paper. So if you could have a go at that now for me, spending between sort of 10 to 15 minutes, and if you could pause the video now and then I shall put up the answers. Okay, so yellow group, here are your answers if you'd like to pause the video now. And blue and green group, these are your answers if you'd like to pause the video now. So our final session of this week then, we're going to be looking at multiplying non-unit fractions by an integer. Now we've talked about and we've been working on unit fractions, so you might want to start to think about what a non-unit fraction might be, and an integer being a whole number. So how will we be successful today? Well, you're going to need to use your multiplication knowledge, drawing representations such as bar models or number lines, and maybe some of you might like the challenge of trying to simplify some of your answers as well. So a quick little warm-up for us, always, sometimes or never. So I want you to think about whether you think this statement is always true, sometimes true or never true. When you multiply a unit fraction by the same number as its denominator, the answer will be one whole. So I just want to show you one example of that. So here's my non-unit fraction, 1/4, and I'm multiplying it by 4. So it says when you multiply this unit fraction by the same number, so because we're looking at quarters here, we've times it by 4, the same number as its denominator, so these are the same, the answer will be a whole. Well, in this case, yes, because 4 out of 4, we can imagine 4 slices of pizza. If a pizza is cut into 4 slices and you've eaten 4 out of the 4 pieces, you've eaten all of it. If a chocolate bar is cut into 4 pieces and you've eaten 4 out of the 4, you've eaten the whole amount. So pause the video now and explore some other unit fractions and see whether the same rules apply, and decide whether you think this statement is always, sometimes or never true. We can probably get rid of never. We're looking at always or sometimes because obviously I've proved it once already. Okay, so you might have some examples there. These are some of my examples. I've got 1/3 times 3 is 3/3, so that's a whole. And my other example was 1/8 times 8 is equal to 8/8. So actually we're looking there that this statement is always true. No matter what number the denominator and the integer are, it will always make the whole because you're multiplying by the amount of the denominator, so that will give you the whole. So looking at today then, if we go back to our learning objective, we're looking at non-unitary fractions today. So having a little look then, let's see what we mean by a non-unitary fraction. Well, basically what we mean is a fraction, but this time where the numerator is not 1, it's any number other than 1. So we've got here 2/7, 7/9, 3/5, and I'm sure you can think of some other examples as well. And a reminder again that an integer is all whole numbers. Positive or negative, we again will be focusing on the positive numbers. So let's have a look then. 4/6 multiplied by 4. Now you might want to pause the video and have a go. If you think you've got an idea, you'll notice I've created bars of 6 and I've got 4 of them. So I want 4/6 4 times. So here we have 4/6, but I need it 4 times. So the calculation I did was 4 multiplied by 4, you can see there, 4 times 4 is 16. And I can see when I count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I've got 16/6. So again, like last session, the denominator doesn't change. We're multiplying by that numerator to show 4/6 4 times. Now for some of you, you might notice that 16/6 is also obviously bigger than 1 whole. We've created our improper fraction, our top-heavy fraction. So what some of you may wish to then do is have a go at converting it into a whole number and the fraction that's left over. So we call this a mixed number. So 16/6 is indeed the correct answer. If you want to take it a step further to work out how many wholes are in there, we've got 2 wholes and 4 6. And I'd just like to show that for you visually now. So I want you to imagine I've got my 4 6, I've got my bars of 6, and what I'm doing with my 4 6 is I've arranged them into the bars of 6. That's my first lot of 4 6. As you can see, it takes up 4 6 of the bar. The blue ones are my second lot of 4 6, and you can see I've used 2 here to create a 1 whole bar, and 2 more down here for the next bar. 4 6 in my green, that's my third lot of 4 6, and my fourth lot of 4 6 here in my third bar. So you can see I've got 1, 2 whole bars and 4 6. So you're all going to have a go today at multiplying non-unit fractions by a number, and some of you may want this extra challenge today by having a go at converting that fraction at the end into a mixed number, which you can see here, 2 whole and 4 6. Here we go on the number lines. If the number line made more sense to you, you can see here I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4 6. I need 4 lots of 4 6, so I've got 4 6. I'm going to add another 4 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see here 4 6 would be 5 6. 6 6 would be 1 whole. 1 whole and 1 6. 1 whole and 2 6. Adding our next 4 6, so we've got 1 whole and 3 6, 1 whole and 4 6, 1 whole and 5 6, and we would obviously say here 12 6, but actually that's 2 whole, and then finally adding our final 4 6 to give us 2 and 4 6. So some different visual representations there that might help you today. So what I'd like you to do now is have a go at pausing the video again and see if you can try out some of these calculations on the board. You might want to pick a number line or a bar model to help you to illustrate your method. Okay, so if you've unpaused the video now, let's have a little look at your answers. So I have done an example of the bar model for this first one. So we've got 3/8 times by 2. So here's my bar of 8, and I've got 3/8 twice, and altogether you can see that makes 6/8. Notice the denominator doesn't change. 5/16 times by 3. So we've got there 5 times 3 is 15/16, and here 4 lots of 2/11. 4 times 2 is 8/11. Down the bottom here, we've got 2/7 times 3, which I've shown on a number line. So 2/7, another 2/7 is 4/7, another 2/7 is 6/7 there. 3/16 times 4, so 3 times by 4 is 12. I can see a mistake there by Mrs. Gill. Apologies, year 5. That should be 12/16. And finally here then, we've got 4 times 5/12, which gave us 20 12s. And this is that extra challenge today. Some of you might then see, if you do get a top-heavy fraction, you might want to try thinking about, well, how many wholes are there in 20 12s? So there's 1 whole would be 12 12s. So that's 1 and 8 left over. So if you want to convert those into mixed numbers today, you can do. So you're going to work through some challenges similar to the ones previously, and then you might be asked some other questions which are in a slightly different context if you get that far today. So I wanted us to just have a look at this example. So we've got here 5/13, 5/13 and 5/13. So I want us to think about the calculation we're being asked here, and the calculation is asking of us obviously 5/13, and we're being asked to multiply 5/13 by 3. Okay, so we're looking then at thinking about 5 lots of, or 3 lots of 5 is going to give us 15/13. Now that would be the top heavy fraction. So again, like I said, this is just a challenge for some of you today if you need that something extra to keep you going. We can see here we've got this top heavy fraction. So we now need to think about, well, how many times does 13 go into 15? And the answer then is obviously once. And how many of those 13ths have we got left over? If 13 have gone in out of 15, that leaves us with 2. So the answer then is 1 and 2/13. So you might have some challenges like that at the end as well. We look forward to seeing your work today, and can I just say on behalf of all the Year 5 teachers how thoroughly impressed we have been with every single one of you and your efforts in all of your work, and in particular your maths work over the past 6 weeks. You have done a brilliant job. So a big well done, and I hope you will have a really, really lovely half term when it arrives. Thank you.